On the news tonight, Federal Executive Council upholds three-year economic revival plan as President Tinubu charges ministers against underperformance. Federal government predicts intense flooding in some states, assures of shelter. And Vice President urges Presidential Committee to develop robust roadmap for better economy. Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Federal Executive Council has unfolded a three-year economic revival plan to address the social and economic challenges affecting the country. The inaugural cabinet meeting, which was held at the council chambers of the presidential villa in Abuja, was presided over by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who unveiled his vision for economic growth, prosperity for all, and ending poverty. Addressing the ministers, the president admonished them to achieve the first phase of his administration's 8-point agenda within 3 years. Our correspondent, Mary Kanu, has more details in this report.
It is the first-time gathering of the newly inaugurated ministers under the President Tinubu administration. The president's arrival signals the commencement of the inaugural Federal Executive Council meeting. Getting right into the meeting, the president charges his cabinet members to work hard and revive the country's economy.
We have unemployment that is a level that is not acceptable. We are threatened by climate changes. You see, have underemployment. But to turn things around, you have been selected to perform your utmost best. The policy agenda will be set to reform the economy to deliver sustainable and inclusive growth, strengthen national security for peace and prosperity. Without security, there can be no investment. We must unlock the energy and natural resources of this country. We must start to produce for ourselves.
Just after the president's address, the meeting went into a closed-door session, and hours later, journalists were briefed on the outcome of the meeting.
That the president wants us to domesticate our efforts within our own national context, but also to be very practical in the interventions that we make. And with those marching orders, we now have our work cut out for us, and will continue to refine as the coordinating minister of the economy indicated.
He promised 50 million jobs, and that's our target. And we will take it in phases. We're looking at different sectors of the economy that will contribute to this job creation. Chief among them is the creative industry and the digital economy. And then the agri sector and agro-processing zone, and mining, oil and gas. So we are very, very confident that we will achieve this.
Recounting the events of the meeting, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy revealed the President's 8-point agenda aimed at improving the economy.
His 8 priority areas for moving the Nigerian economy forward and for delivering to Nigerians. And those are basically food security, ending poverty, economic growth and job creation, access to capital, particularly consumer credit, inclusivity in all its dimensions, particularly as regards youth and women.
We are all fired up as cabinet members who have made our commitments to Mr. President, and I'm sure he's equally pleased with the kind of commitments that we have laid out today, and God willing, we should be able to achieve those targets within the shortest possible.
Meanwhile, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajirin Galale, has said that President Tinubu has benchmarks for performances, would not permit failure, and will sack any ineffective minister. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
Following the opening of Cameroon's Ladgo Dam, the federal government has said that intense flooding will be experienced. Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edo, gave this prediction when she hosted the Minister of Water Resources, the Minister of Environment, as well as other stakeholders on ways to mitigate the impact of the flooding in Nigeria. The minister, however, assured Nigerians that shelter will be provided to residents in flood-prone states. The federal government has been charged to treat ecological issues with major concern to tackle various environmental crises, listing various factors causing flooding which damages the environment. Environmentalist John Ikoko faulted the government's handling of previous flooding disasters witnessed in the country.
Ecological issues are not minor issues, they are major issues. In other words, they require a lot of resources to deal with. First and foremost, we must comply with building regulations. We must clear our drains. We must not build on landfalls. We must control our waste. Those ones are very basic. Going forward, what about our coastal regions? The marshlands are the lungs of the earth, if not the heart, H-E-A-R-T, of the earth. Are we preserving this marshland, these regions between the sea and the dwelling places? They act as sponge. They absorb most of the water coming from the sea. But what do we see today? The people build on this marshlands. They build on this coastal corridor. Even the green belt itself is brought down. We need to be able to restore that green belt, that marshy land, to be able to act as a sponge to absorb the water from the sea whenever the tide rises.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Federal Capital Territory Command has arrested 20 suspected vandals and manhole cover thieves in different parts of the city center. Parading the suspects at the command headquarters in Abuja, Commandant of the FCT Command, Olushola Odumosu, said that most of the arrested thieves were caught stealing manholes and vandalizing government property in various areas in the FCT. He further revealed that the arrests were made following intelligence reports that some scavengers pretend to be homeless and carry out various nefarious activities.
Deterring potential criminals and ensuring the apprehension of those responsible for these unlawful activities. And through these actions, we are sending an unequivocal and resolute warning that criminal behavior in the Federal Capital Territory will no longer be tolerated. The proactive strategy we have embraced underscores the unwavering commitment of government in addressing concerns, which is security and infrastructure protection. And we are steadfastly dedicated to safeguarding the integrity of critical national assets and infrastructure throughout the FCT metropolis.
The very place I was sleeping, that is the place that we always sleep every time. And we are not sleeping only three of us. Even myself, I wasn't around at that time. I was in a Maraba from my sister's house. Just only yesterday, I said, let me come. Even on Sunday that I left. Then I came back this Sunday. Immediately I just came, I lie down. I did not go to anywhere. Before I want to open my eyes, it was the officers that came.
I'm working night, so the time I want to go to house, I didn't see any vehicle. There are several million last in that police container on the road. They come and arrest me. I give them the respect and follow them down to here.
National Bureau of Statistics, in its latest report, has revealed that Nigeria's unemployment rate has dropped. On Thursday, the NBS had released a revised unemployment figure in the country, standing at 4.1% in the first quarter of 2023. The new approach, which aligns with the International Labour Organization's guidelines, revealed a sharp drop in the country's unemployment rate from the 33.3% as at the fourth quarter of 2020. Since it was released, the Labour report has been met with mixed reactions. Earlier, I spoke to the Director General, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, and I began by asking him what factors are responsible for the current level of unemployment in the country.
We have massive potential in construction. Construction is one area that can generate massive employment. We have the textile industry. We have all conspired to bring the textile industry to its comatose state now. Rather than wear made in Nigerian fabrics, we are all obsessed with imported material. Even at the government level, we are all obsessed with imported material and conspire to kill the textile industry. So let's focus on construction. Let's focus on textile. Let's focus on manufacturing. That is the real sector. There is massive opportunity also in telecoms. The potential across board for our economy is so massive. What we need is government to create that environment.
So recent reports have shown that the kinds of jobs needed to generate income growth and lift many Nigerians out of poverty are not available in large numbers. So what measures can the government implement to bridge the productivity gap and build economic resilience?
Well, we have no doubt in the competence and capacity of the new Minister of Labour and Employment and then the Minister of State to navigate the ship of the ministry to a successful sail. For the new minister, we expect it will thrive in collaboration with the social partner. We expect that it will deepen the reforms in the Nigerian industrial relations sector. We expect that it will fast track the strengthening of labor administration institutions like the Industrial Arbitration Panel, the National Industrial Court, and others. We also expect that we'll fast track the passage of the Nigerian labor law. The bill is almost completed. The work is ongoing with the Ministry of Justice, and we expect that it will be passed quickly to the executive so that they can send it to the National Assembly as an executive bill. We also expect that it will deepen social dialogue within the social partners so that the era of strike and lockout every other time will be reduced.
Well, that was Adewale Oyerinde, the Director General, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, speaking on the latest reports by the National Bureau of Statistics on Nigeria's unemployment rate, which stands at 4.1% in the fourth quarter of 2023. A civil society organization, the West Africa Civil Society Institute, has emphasized the importance of democracy and called on relevant governing bodies to respond effectively to the shrinking civic space and weakening democracy in the region. The group made this known during a three-day conference to critically reflect on the evolving role of civil societies and consolidating democracy for regional development. Speaking at the event, Head of Policy Influence and Advocacy of the Institute, Omolara Balogun, also urged public office holders to prioritize the people during policy formulations.
The region is at a very critical stage, a crossroad, where if we do not do something differently, if we do not do things differently, the rate that is going on may likely consume all of us. So the problems now go beyond the current countries that have been overtaken by coup d'etat, but we are talking broadly about regional security and our development. So it's a time for civil society to begin to rethink their role in consolidating democracy. It's a time for us to foster solidarity. It's a time for us to work collectively rather than, in silos. It's a time for us to bring our efforts together and really see how we can push forward the democratic agenda. We need to ensure that the democracy that we have, it's not perfect, but we must find a way to sustain and consolidate it rather than lose it all.
Schools have never solved anything in our countries. And so we need to look at how we can address the issue of democracy in Africa and look at the kind of democracy that fits our context and benefits our people, and ask ourselves how we can prevent the unconstitutional change of government, and also that ECOWAS would respond the way it has to respond for its people and to support its people. If we want the peace and prosperity that we want to have in West Africa, we need to have a responsive ECOWAS.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Federal government set to complete Lagos Expressway by mid-September. We'll bring you details of this story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
The new Nigeria is possible, the future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Corruption not in my country.
Cut. All right. What's your name again? Kemi?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you ready for us for next week?
Yes, sir.
Next.
No, sir. No.
What? Look, what we need here is one who can speak fluent English. Give her a chance.
I need a angel to hold me. Hold me, my beautiful angel.
Cut! It is angel, not Angel. Please, I'm done with you. Excuse us. Kemi was far better.
It's not about our rendition. It's not about our performance here. By the time she and her friends join us in our hotel rooms, you will know how far.
Can I have her phone?
She has a robust profile.
Real robust profile. I do not undercut professional ethics. It is an act of corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Now on TV 360 in Nigeria. A recap now of some of our top stories tonight. The Federal Executive Council has unfolded a 3-year economic revival. Challenges affecting the country. The inaugural cabinet meeting, which was held at the council chambers of the presidential villa in Abuja, was presided over by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who unveiled his vision for economic growth, prosperity for all, and ending poverty. Following the opening of Cameroon's Ladgo Dam, the federal government has said that intense flooding will be experienced in some states in the next 7 days. The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, who gave this prediction, assured Nigerians that shelters will be provided to residents in flood-prone states. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, so for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. In business, Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged members of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms to develop a robust roadmap that will transform the economy of the country. The Vice President gave the charge when he received in audience members of the committee led by the Chairman Taiwo Oyedele at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Oyedele, who spoke to State House correspondents after the meeting, the committee would engage with Nigerians both at home and abroad, as well as with all segments of the society to better redesign a new fiscal policy framework fit for the nation to thrive.
The reason why we're here to see His Excellency the Vice President is that the mandate given to us by Mr. President is to help our country regarding matters of fiscal governance, which is really about how do we manage our revenue, our expenditure and debts, as well as revenue transformation beyond tax. So this is both tax and non-tax, as well as how do we facilitate economic growth so that our people can have prosperity that is inclusive. We have very diverse and excellent team. I think you cannot ask for anything better than what we have anywhere in the world. And I say that with all sense of responsibility. Even Nigerians abroad, like 3 people working for investment banks where they cannot be any less than $250,000 per annum. They are saying to me, Taiwo, if you call us today, we are coming the following day. For me, I'm humbled that we have this kind of not only excellent resources, but they are willing to make the sacrifice for their country. So we sat down in our committee. We are divided into 6 subcommittees. We are spending our time to do proper planning, get data for the decisions we make, to make sure at the end of the day we also engage with Nigerians to co-create the solution to our challenges that we face.
After years of rehabilitation, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is finally expected to be completed in the middle of. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, made it known in a statement on Tuesday while touring the locations of finished and continuing federal government projects in Lagos. The inspection tour started at Outer Marina Road in Victoria Island, a project constructed under the Sukuk financing option by the federal government. The minister is also expected to inspect the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the reconstructed Apapa-Oshodi Expressway, the deep sea ports, and other federal government projects on the Lagos and Ogun corridor. We'll take a break now and be back with a review of the stock market. To stay with us. The Nigerian bourse maintained its bullish trend on the second day of trading, appreciating by 0.51%, leading the all-share index to close at 66,490 basis points. Current market capitalization stands at 36.4 trillion naira. 170 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 34 gainers and 24 losers. Flour Mills Nigeria led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 33 naira per share, followed by Champion Breweries. On the losing side, Computer Warehouse Group came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10% at 4 naira per share, followed by Linkage Assurance. Tuesday's trading data shows 13% decline in volume, 8% decline in turnover, but 9% improvement in deals. Well, let's switch to foreign stock markets, which also closed higher on Tuesday, tracking global counterparts as investors look ahead to a fresh round of economic data this week. So our select stock, UK's FTSE, US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei closed in a green at 1.76%, 0.34% and 0.18% respectively. The United Nations has cautioned that years of educational disruption have made it difficult for Ukrainian children to learn language, math and reading skills in the wake of the epidemic and Russia's invasion. Youngsters within the country and refugees forced to flee abroad are now facing a fourth straight year of disruption, the UN Children's Agency UNICEF said, as the school year begins in Ukraine. According to Regina De Dominicis, UNICEF's Regional Director for Europe and Central Asia, continued attacks on education inside Ukraine and low-level enrollment in refugee-hosted countries have left many of Ukraine's 6.7 million 3- to 18-year-olds struggling to learn. In sports, former players and accomplished professionals have called on the federal government to support grassroots sports in the country. This call was made at the 4th Dr. Efunkoya Cadets Championships, which saw Toby, a junior table tennis team, emerge winner. The Dr. Efunkoya Championship competition, which was held over the weekend at the Lagos National Stadium, featured more than 170 under-15 boys and girls from all around Nigeria.
It's a very great show. First, in memory of the late Dr. Efunkoya, who started it all. You can see so many old stars here who are beneficiaries of his wisdom, of his sagacity in organizing table tennis in Nigeria. And now for these young kids, I think for me it's a day of excitement seeing all these kids who are doing well, because there are so many countries now who have come up to challenge Nigeria in table tennis. And I've always been wondering how we're going to do it after Aruna Kodri and his set. But now seeing all these kids, I'm so happy.
The kids here, they are not well taken care of in terms of facilities, in terms of equipment, which means that the government must do more. For instance, this national stadium now was established by the Gowon administration. Imagine what Gowon did that time to put up structures like this, which has assisted many athletes. But successive governments over the years have neglected sports. And I think we need to recognize the fact that sports remain a unifying factor. We are talking of national unity, we are talking of national cohesion, we are talking of national integration. One way we can foster national unity, national cohesion, national integration is through sports.
And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogorinde. Bye for now.